from Heard It on the X right here in Buffalo. What?
Hi, folks. Welcome back to Heard It on the X. This is Rich Rogan-Moser. We did get off on a little political tangent.
That's okay. That's what we do.
I know, it's craziness. And before my head explodes, let's talk about this week's show. We have Jason Bonham's going to be joining us at the bottom of the hour at 6:30.
Jason Bonham, of course, the son of legendary John Bonham.
Is he?
Drummer. Is that who his dad is?
Oh, yeah.
No, he was in some kind of band.
I remember the band.
They did some kind of band, something.
Of course, we're talking about Led Zeppelin, who, by all accounts, really is probably the greatest rock and roll band ever.
They have my vote.
Yeah, I think so too.
I know they have Kim Marie's vote.
The lovely Kim Marie, for those of you who don't know, there's a lot of people that Kim Marie likes music-wise. Kim's a humongous music fan, into a lot of different types of music. Mm-hmm. However, there's one band that takes the cake, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah, and that is Led Zeppelin. I remember my entire life being blasted out by Led Zeppelin.
I think you got Zeppelin headphones in the womb.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
It was, there was a Fool in the Rain was in the room.
But what Jason's doing is he's doing this Led Zeppelin experience where he's going on the road and paying honor to his dad, paying honor to his dad's music. It's a really cool thing. The guys that did Rain put it together for him, with him, really. He was there through the whole thing. And there's sections of the show where he actually plays to a video of his father. Him and his father actually duet on a couple of things, that's pretty neat. I mean, it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool stuff, so it's going to be awesome to talk to him about that and get more information on everything about that.
Yeah, and he played at the O2 for the reunion. He was the drummer for the reunion.
Where Kim Marie actually almost mortgaged her home to go.
It's so funny because I remember back then Kim and I were talking about going to this, and when we found out what the tickets were, I'm like, wow-wee. And she's like, I don't care.
Yeah. I don't care.
That's fine.
Josh has got a liver. We could sell it.
Joshua doesn't need college.
Yeah.
He needs no college
Josh
money.
doesn't need a pancreas.
Yeah, so that's going to be cool to talk about that too.
Yeah, the O2, I know that was just a huge deal.
I want to know about a DVD. I want to know if there's ever going to be a DVD.
There's been rumors that it's going to be released. I know they said a couple years ago that it was going to be released, and it still hasn't come out. So
I think Jimmy Page is very much, especially the older he gets, the less he
wants to do stuff like that.
I think he wants to do stuff, but I almost think he's almost got like ADD or OCD, whatever, whichever one it is, that control thing, that super control one. I think he has that, and he just doesn't. I don't think he's ever really happy with his performances, and I think he just sits and tinkers. Even the song remains the same. The album, the song remains the same.
Yeah,
he was mocked out a lot, and really
for his solos and stuff.
Well, and he overdubbed a lot on that. That album has a lot of overdubs. It was recorded and released 2 years after I think it was recorded, and that's why when the movie came out, the clothing and everything that they were wearing was kind of really out of style for what was going on at that time. But he did spend a couple years tinkering and adding guitar parts, and so the live performances sounded more like a studio performance. And
I don't know if it's so much as an ADD, OCD, or like you said, but he's just a very particular musician. He is very particular about his craft. And
I agree. Yeah.
So it's something he loves, and it's something that if he doesn't do perfect, he doesn't want to do it.
The other thing about Zeppelin too, and a lot of people don't get this, Jimmy Page was a studio musician, and Zeppelin started because Jimmy Page had a contractual obligation to finish Yardbird dates. Yeah. So really, they were put together for that purpose.
They began touring as the New Yardbirds.
And they were the New Yardbirds, correct. But he was so brilliant in the studio, and the reason why they sounded so different than their contemporaries, there was nobody really producing harder rock at the time. Jimmy would produce their stuff. So, much like the Beatles stuff was heavily produced by George Martin, Zeppelin stuff they were the first rock band to be produced. If you listen to contemporary stuff that's going on at the time, even like Steppenwolf or even Cream, their stuff doesn't sound so. Yeah, it sounds raw, a lot rawer sounding than what Zeppelin had going on.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. You listen to the Cream stuff, and it's hard to explain, but it has that raw sort of almost. Today it sounds like, looking back, it was recorded in a garage somewhere.
Yeah, it almost has a live performance.
Yeah, it sort of got that feel too. But Zeppelin always had that really fresh and really produced vibe to it, and that's what really made them sort of take off because no one else was doing that.
I think too, when as soon as he got known for that, I think it affected him because there's a lot of times, 10 Years Gone has 9 guitar tracks on it.
Yeah, so a lot of the songs, have just ridiculous overdubs and stuff like that on it. But like I said, I think it's part of him just being so into his craft and so particular about everything. That's why everything is so bizarre and overdubbed and like that.
He came of age too in the studio. I mean, that's really what he did. I mean, he was a studio guitar player.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of tracks that he's played on that he wasn't credited on, and stuff that he was credited on that didn't play on and stuff. But he was around. He wasn't a new musician by any means. But none of them were really. I mean,
you think Jason calls him Uncle Jimmy?
I don't know. What do you think they call him?
I don't know.
Do you think he has his phone number?
Let's find out.
We're gonna ask him.
I would love to just text Jimmy Page at will.
Yeah, just to send him forwards. Look at this funny video.
If we had Jimmy Page's phone number, I'm going to bet you this. If we had Jimmy Page's phone number, within 9 minutes, he calls up Verizon and changes his number.
Just because Kim Marie would be calling. Kim Marie would call him 100 times in 10 minutes.
We would get him to change his number.